So for the materials we'll be needing, we would need yarn. I'm using this Alize Cotton Gold yarn. It's 100-gram yarn, about 361 yardage, and I ended up using about 5 balls of this, 4.5, 5-ish. I'll put the exact amount I use in the description, but this is what I'm using. For hook, I will be using a 3.0mm hook. I would also be using buttons for the buttonhole of this shirt. I will be using darning needle to weave in my ends, stitch markers, my measuring tape, and a pair of scissors. So without further ado, let's get straight into the video. So guys, to start, I'm going to make a slip knot. I'm using a variation of the shell stitch, one of the numerous shell stitches for this. I already have a tutorial on that on my channel. I would link it up somewhere here, and I will also have it linked in the description, so I won't be doing too much explaining on this stitch. I am using a chest measurement of 42 inches. So working the back panel, I want to work half of that chest measurement. Half of 42 is 21. So I would chain a chain that should give me something about 21 inches. Also, this stitch is worked in multiples of 3 plus 9. So for that, I would chain 93. I'll make 93 chains, and once I have 93 chains, I'll come back on here to show you guys what to do next. I am back with my 93 chains, and it measures about 18 inches without stretch, but it stretches well to 21 inches, and that's what we want. After doing this, I will chain one extra because my very first row, even if I don't like to term it the first row, it's like a row 0 before you start working the first row. It's a single crochet row, so I'll chain one to turn. I'll make sure I'm working at the back bump of my chains, but you can work normally if that's what you're used to. And I'll just make one single crochet in every stitch up until the beginning where I have 93 single crochets, and I would meet you guys back there. So I just make my last single crochet right there, and here's what I have for row 0. To move on now, I will chain 3. This chain 3 counts as a stitch, so when I turn and I start working, I would work in the second stitch because this chain 3 covers for this first stitch. So I'll make a double crochet in the second stitch, and this stands as 2 double crochet now. Moving forward, I will chain 1, skip 2 stitches. In the third, I will make the shell by making 2 double crochet, chain 1, 2 double crochet. After making the shell, I will chain 1, skip 2 stitches, and make 1 double crochet in the third. So this is the pattern. If you've watched the stitch tutorial, you'll understand. You keep chaining 1, skipping 2, make a shell, chain 1, skip 2, make 1 double crochet, up until you are left with just 4 stitches. And I will meet you back when I have just 4 stitches left and tell you how to end this row. So guys, I have just made my last shell and I have 4 single crochets left. As you can see, after chaining 1 and skipping 2, you want to make 1 double crochet in each of the last 2 stitches, and this way we've mirrored what we did at the beginning by making chain 3 that counts as a stitch and a double crochet in the next stitch. Now going to row 2 of this pattern, which is the repeat row, meaning this is what you do for the rest of this back panel. You chain 3, it counts as a stitch, so when we turn our work, we just have to work the second double crochet, chain 1, in the shell, in between, in the chain 1 space, you make another shell by 2 double crochet, chain 1, 2 double crochet. And when you're done with that shell, you chain 1, in the double crochet space from below, you make 1 double crochet, you chain one in the shell, you make another shell, and this is basically the pattern repeat up until you get to the end, where you would make 2 double crochet to mirror what we've done here. So I'll meet you guys back at this point. I am back at the end, and after chaining one, you would make 1 double crochet in the second to the last, and your last double crochet should be at the top of chain 3. So you have 2 double crochet on the edge, just like you did here. So I'll continue working this pattern this way up until I have the length of my panel, meaning how long I want my shirt to be. And once I have that, I'll come back and show you guys, tell you the length I have and how many rows it took me to get that length. So see you in the next clip. So guys, I am back with the back panel, and the whole of it does not fit into the view, but I made about 60 rows of this shell stitch. Yeah, 60, and that gave me the length I want my shirt to be, which is about 27.5 inch. So that's quite perfect for me. I cut off my yarn and I'm ready to start my front panel. So how I get the number for the front panel, the amount of starting chain I will do, is quite easy because it depends on my back panel already. So I count the amount of shells I have. That's this part. I have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 15. And because I have an odd number, I would divide it into 2, then remove 1, because we work 2 front panels, right? So I'll make 7 shells. I'll consider just 7 shells for each front panel and say there's none in the middle portion. So this would also determine how I would decrease my neckline, but when we get there, I'll explain better. Having said that, that will be 7 shells for 1 front panel, and because I already have this, I'll just calculate how many amount of chains it took me to get to the 7th shell, like literally count it from here to the 7th shell, and that's what I'll chain for my front panel. So I just counted, and from here up until this point is 44 stitches. Also, another thing for the front panel, we don't end one side of the border with 2 double crochet, we end it with just 1 double crochet. That's the part that would face the collar, the part facing the inside, not the part facing the armpit seam. I guess you understand what I mean. I have 44 stitches, so I'll chain 44 plus 1 to turn. I'll do that quickly and come and show you guys what I have. Same method you did for the back panel, same way you chained, same way you did your shells. I would same way you did your single crochet, then did your shells, but I will do all that for you to see and show you guys what I've got quickly. One more thing I forgot to mention is that you don't have to have an odd number of shells like I do. In fact, in the very first one of this shirt I made, I had an even number. So that's a larger size. I had 16 shells. And in those cases, you just divide it evenly. So 8 for the front panel, 8 for the other front panel. But I'm doing this because I don't want to have to make more. So let me say 8 for the front panel and 8 for the other front panel when I just have 15 at the back panel. And that's why I'm doing this, because I know there's a point where I will get to decrease, and in that other situation where I had completely half of what the back panel was, I started my decreases at a particular point. But for this one, where I know I've totally omitted one line, I know I would have to start my decrease at a later point. Hope you're clear on that. So I am done with my 44 single crochets, and I will just go and work the stitch for row 1. So you would see I've chained 1, I'll add 2 more, that's chain 3, double crochet in the second stitch from the hook, chain 1, skip 2, make a shell by 2 double crochet, chain 1, 2 double crochet, chain 1, skip 2, double crochet in the third, chain 1, skip 2, 2 double crochet, chain 1, 2 double crochet, chain 1, skip 2, double crochet in the third, chain 1, skip 2, 2 double crochet, chain 1, 2 double crochet, chain 1, skip 2, double crochet in the third, chain 1, skip 2, 2 double crochet, chain 1, 2 double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1, shell, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1, shell, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1. I think this is our last shell. Yes, it is. And if you check back, you would see we have 7 shells as intended. That is half of our back panel. And this is what I mean by we end one border one side of the front panel with just 1 double crochet. So when I skip 2, I would have just 1 stitch left. That's if you calculated your stitch count rightly. And this is how we would have the front panel moving: 1 stitch on this side and 2 stitches on this side. That's 2 double crochet. This part will be the part that will be joined to the back panel, and this part will be the part that will house the flap or the buttonholes. So we'll keep doing the pattern like we normally would, and in the next clip I'll be telling you where I stopped and why I stopped there, how many rows I did, what the length measures, and walk you guys through the decrease for the neckline portion. I forgot to add this and I just realized it might be important. So in order to move forward to the next row, when your previous row ended at 1 double crochet end, you chain 4. So chain 3 counts as a stitch, chain 1 counts as the chain 1 in between, and then you make your next shell here and continue like you normally would. So coming back, you make 1 double crochet on the third chain, leaving the chain 1 in between out of 4 chains. Hope that makes sense. You guys, I am back with my front panel, and this is what I have. My camera's range cannot cover the whole of it, but you know I did 60 rows on the back panel, so I've done 51 so far on this front panel. Okay, and I want to also chip in something. Remember I said I've done a large size of this shirt? There I did 16 shells for the back panel, 8 shells on each front panel, and I had the aim to decrease 3 shells. So for that, I started decreasing at row 49 because I knew I had to decrease 3 shells. But for this one, I had 15 shells at the back panel and 7 on each front panel, meaning I had omitted 1 shell from the get-go. So my aim is just to decrease 2 shells. That's why I waited up until row 51 to start decreasing. And one thing you also want to know about the decreases is that they form where your collar would start from, basically. But you will get to understand this better when we get into making the collar, yeah? So I'm just going to be decreasing these 2 shells in the remaining 9 rows. Yeah, so let's get straight into that. So what you want to know is that wherever you want to start decreasing from, you want to make sure you are facing the point. This side where it ends with 1 double crochet, this side where it's going to be at the neckline portion, not the side that will be joined to the armhole portion, right? So once you've gotten here, this is row 51 for me. You would chain 3. So we normally do chain 4 because chain 3 counts as a stitch, then chain 1 for the in between. But we would now chain 3 because we are trying to eliminate chains, so we're trying to do without chains at this very beginning. It helps just tighten up our work and facilitate the decrease. So you chain 3. I have 1, this 2, 3, and you start decreasing for row 52. On this V, what you would do is make a decrease V stitch. So we normally do 2 double crochet, chain 1, 2 double crochet, but now we will just do 1 double crochet, chain 1, 1 double crochet. And once we've done this I call like a V stitch decrease, you work the rest like you normally would. So you would chain 1, make a double crochet here, chain 1, make a shell, and so on and so forth, and I'll meet you back when I'm in at this point. So I did the rest of this one after doing the decrease on row 52, and then I came back right up until this point. This is row 53, and I would like to call these double crochet in between the shells structure double crochet. They give the shell structure. So when I say that, you know what I'm referring to. After doing this last structure double crochet here, to decrease, I won't chain 1, I would just make 1 double crochet here, but I would not complete it. And then at the top of this chain 3, I would make another incomplete double crochet and then complete both of them together. So I basically did 2 double crochet together on the decrease V stitch and the top of this chain 3 for row 53. For row 54 now, I would chain 3 and I would skip this decrease stitch that we just made after turning my work, make 1 double crochet on this structure double crochet from previous row, then chain 1 and continue to work as normal all through row 54. I would do the normal pattern we've been doing. If you could see, it started to decrease a bit. Let me just put a stitch marker at the row before decrease. So this is row 51. This is where we started decreasing 52, and you could see this curve, this gentle curve. So that's our aim. And I work as normal, like I was saying, for row 50. Is this 4? Yeah, 54. And then 55. When I get back here, I'll let you guys know what I did. So guys, I'm coming back up on row 55. I'm left with 1 structure double crochet, 1 shell, and the last structure and chain 3 that we did. So when I chain 1, I'll make 1 double crochet on this previous structure, chain 1, and in this last shell for row 55, I will do a V stitch decrease by 1 double crochet, chain 1, 1 double crochet. I wouldn't chain 1 now. I would just go ahead and decrease these 2 stitches, that's this and this, by making 2 double crochet together in both of them. Once I've done that, I would chain 3 for row 56, turn my work. After turning my work, I would ignore this double crochet decrease and go into the V stitch decrease with 1 double crochet. Then I can chain 1 and work as normal for the rest of row 56. Then I'll come back in row 57. When I'm back here, I'll show you guys what I did or what I would do. Hey guys, this is row 57 now, and I'm coming up onto the last stitches. I will make 1 structured double crochet in this last structured double crochet, and then I won't chain 1. I would make a decrease in this one and the chain 3. So going on top of that 3rd chain, you make 2 double crochet together, yarn over, pull through all the 3 loops on your hook. Now to go to row 58, like you would be used to, I would just chain 3, turn my work. I would skip this decrease and make 1 double crochet in this structure, chain 1, work my shells, work my stitches as normal. And when I'm done with 58, coming back on 59, I will show you guys what I do. You guys, I'm back up at row 59, which is my last decrease row. And after doing my very last shell, I wouldn't chain one, I would make 2 double crochet together in the last 2 stitches, one being the structure double crochet and the other one being the chain 3. I would pull through all this together, and look at how beautiful that is. If you realize or if you observe, you see we've eliminated this shell row, and we're left with this, just like I wanted. So we're left with 5. I don't want to tell you a set in place number because I know based on size you'll have different number of shell rows. But I hope this was helpful. If you have any questions, drop them in the comment section below. We will do our very last round, which is 60, and I like to wrap up my decreases before round 60 because I don't want to work a decrease on the final round. So for round 60, I've wrapped up my decreases. I will chain 4 now. That stands as a double crochet and a chain 1, because we'll be joining it to the back panel, which already has that structure of double crochet, chain 1 in between. You get what I mean when we're joining. After chain 4, I will turn my work and I will go straight into the shell work, a normal shell stitch like we're used to, and work my stitches all up until the end, and I'll come back to show you guys what I've got. Back at the end, I would work my last double crochet, chain 1. You can go ahead and cross check to make sure you have the same amount of rows you did at your back panel. This is important. I'll do that and I'll come back and show you guys. But in the meantime, look at this V neckline. It's Ving. It's really Ving. I've just cross-checked mine. It's all good to go. I would cut off a long tail from this after chaining 1. My chain 1 is even coming undone. I'll cut off a long tail. And you go ahead and duplicate this panel. So do exactly this, all that you've done here, on another panel, because you need 2 from panel. I will meet you with mine in the next clip. So I've got my second front panel. Forgive my strands, they are for weaving in, but you want to have something like this. And now we would go right into the next step of this, which is to join our panels together. So I would be joining my front panels with my back panel. And it's pretty easy because of the neckline decrease that we have done. So we don't have to mark out, oh, where are we joining, where are we not joining. I think I'm okay. Yeah, this is the back. I kind of want to know the places where I joined my thread, so that will be the back. I always try to maintain all the joining of threads at one point. So yeah, that's the inside or back inside, I don't know. And now I want to attach it to this. So you want to attach the wrong side. Oh, wrong side, that's what I should have said. You want to attach the wrong sides together. Let me start with 1. This is already too small a space to clutter. So like I was saying, you would want to join these 5 shells we now have here with these 5 shells on the back panel and 1 structure double crochet. So here's a close-up view, and this is what I mean by your work is cut out for you, because if it's another type of clothing, you have to measure the neckline out. But if you've decreased, you just have to join what you have decreased. So I just flipped it so my wrong sides are facing each other, because you want to join on the wrong side. And I'll find a way to stitch this up. I've placed my hook on the last stitch. I'll just undo this chain 1 so I can make another tight one. Now you make a single crochet. I'm joining using single crochet through the last 2 stitches. That's the 2 double crochet. This is 1. In the next one, I'll make another one. Insert my hook here, insert my hook on the other panel, pull through 2. I'm just trying to weave this in as I go, so ignore that. Where should I keep it? Then in the chain 1 space, you insert your hook. In the chain 1 space on the other side, you insert your hook and also join using a single crochet. And it's pretty simple. It's that easy. Now we're on to the shells. You just want to make sure where you're at on one panel, you're at the same place on the opposite panel. You're joining correctly, and join the chain one spaces too. They are stitches, they count. And you want to stop immediately your front panel has finished. So I would stop joining when I get here. After I join this chain one and the third chain to the structure here, that will be my end of this panel, and I will do that for the other panel. Then I'll come back and show you guys how to join the sides. So guys, I have joined it, and this is what it looks like inside on the wrong side, but on the right side it looks something like this. It's quite decent if you ask me. I want to show you guys how to measure out for the armhole now, or the sleeves, because that's the next point to join. So I just quickly flipped it right side out. This is practically my whole width. This is the top, the shoulder seam, and from the shoulder seam you just want to measure 8 inches. This is 8 inches for me, and 8 inches because when you take it all around that will be 16 inches, and I'm using 16 inches for this armhole. So I'll just mark this and count how many shells, how many rows I have for this point, count it at the back and mark it as well. And then I will join from that point at the bottom up until this point, and I would also replicate it on the other side. I have done this before, so I know I had about 17 shells. Let me count if it's the same thing. Okay, this is 17, so I'm just a bit up, and then I'll do that again here. Yes, so this is how wide our armhole would be. Of course, if you want yours smaller or wider, depends on what you're going for, do as you please. I'll do that on the second armhole and quickly show you guys how I start to join it. So to join, I'm starting at the bottom, and you flip your work back so the wrong side is facing you, and I would basically just make a slip knot on my hook, insert my hooks through both loops and through my slip knots, and then I'll pull through, chain one. I'm doing a single crochet join, so I would go through this again though. Single crochet, and this is how I will just be working all through, making 2 single crochet in every row, because you know the rows are comprised of double crochet. Weaving all this in at once might be too bulky, so maybe I'll just take one along, insert in the other panel, pull through, single crochet. The second time I'll take it up, up. So on rows where it's chain 3, you want to make one in the first chain, one on the third chain. Then on rows where it's double crochet like this one, you want to make one through the body of the stitch and one on the stitch itself, like I just did. So 2 single crochets in each join, in each row, and we'll be looking something like this. I'll do this up until my stitch marker that marks my armhole. I won't join the 17th shell. I'll stop on this one right before. I'll do that on the other side as well, come back and show you guys, and we'll be ready to move on to the next step. You guys, I just finished seaming up the second side, as you can see, but I won't cut off. I would turn to the right side out because I want to start working my sleeves now, and there's basically no need to cut off. Maybe I could pass my yarn through. So now that we're clear, in this very last stitch I did inside here, I want to I've chained one already, so I want to chain two more. That'll make it a chain three, right? And then removing this because this was bordering where we would stop. So thank you. I would make a decrease, not really a decrease, but I want to make I want to make a double crochet here and a double crochet here, but I don't want it to count as two double crochet, so I will just make one here. This is the join point, and one on this stitch. That's the very last stitch that we joined, but it's just open there, so I'll do two double crochet together on those two. And you could mark this or mark the chain three. It's however not hard for me to find. Want to start working our sleeves now, and what you want to do is that you would chain one, and then in this very first space, this space here, you make a shell stitch by two double crochet, one, two, chain one, two double crochet like you normally would, right? But the thing is, it won't look so defined on this very first row of the sleeve, but as we go you would see better. Now you chain one, you skip one space because we're working in these spaces now, but you skip this space at the top of it right here. You make a double crochet. That's standing as our, what did we call it, structure double crochet here. You chain one, you skip this space, and in this other space you make a V, one, two, chain one, another two. Then you would chain one, you skip this space, but at the top of it, that's the chain three, you make one double crochet. You chain one again, skip this space, in the next you make a shell. You chain one again, you skip this space, but at the top of it you make one double crochet. So we're basically doing shell stitch, chain one, skip this space, make one double crochet at the top of the space. It's the same pattern we did on the shirt, right? But just that now we're working in spaces and we're skipping spaces to establish this very first row. So you do this all through the open armhole. When you get to this top, I'll meet you and just check back with you briefly. So I'm back at the top and I want to show you what we have so far. This is how it's looking. So I have 6 shells so far. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And at the top, at this join point, instead of putting my double crochet, you know, when we skip this shell, we put the double crochet at the top here. I'll put this one at the seam line where I join both shoulders and then continue the other way around. So I have 6 shells here. I just want to tell you guys, you would have the same amount on the other side to keep things clean and even, okay? So do the other side and I'll meet you on how to close off round 1 and start round 2. I'm done with the round and I also have 6 at this side, and from here henceforth it gets pretty much easier. So what I'll do to close off is I would slip stitch at the top of that chain 3 that we had. That's it. I would chain 1 and then slip stitch at the top of chain 3 that we started with. After doing that, I want to chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and turn my work. Chain 3 counts as a stitch, chain 1 for the in between, and then get straight to working my pattern as usual. So in a previous shell, I will make another shell, chain 1, and in a previous